region birth sign, because the Scorpio region birth sign goes from October the 23rd to 21st of November. And Floyd Robertson was the Commonwealth Featherweight Champion around the times of 1960 to 1967. See, 1967 was the year when they banned Muhammad Ali of his best years. Or the last year he fought, basically. He didn't fight again because his last match was on November the 14th, 1967 against Cleveland Williams, which was near to the date when he fought Archie Moore on the 15th of November 1962, beating him on a 4-round KO in his 16th match. And Cleveland Williams in 1966 though was Muhammad Ali's 27th match, beaten in the 3rd round, November the 14th, 1966. Very near them dates. And also that year, 6th of February, Muhammad Ali fought Ernie Terrell on his 28th match. Cleveland Williams was 27th, and that was February the 6th, 1967. I got that wrong actually. Cleveland Williams, his 27th match, was a TKO 3 rounds, yeah, but it was the 14th of November 1966. The other match Muhammad Ali had was his 29th match against Zora Fawley in 1967. His second match of that year, it was actually Zora Fawley, 29th match, winning in 7 rounds with that same shot he put Liston down with in the second match on March 22nd, 1967, with that anchor punch, downwards type corkscrew punch, shall I say. So he wouldn't fight again in his 30th match against Jerry Quarry for the first time, when he won retirement for over 3 rounds on the 26th of October 1970. Same year that Brazil won the World Soccer Cup, beating Italy 4-1 in the final. That was the first, the Mexico World Soccer Cups. The next one was 1986, when Argentina beat Germany 3-2 in the final, but they would lose in Italy in 1919, the World Soccer Cup, losing to Germany 1-0. And Floyd Robertson was born in Amazulu country, Accra in Ghana, on the 7th of January 1927, same year as the Gene Tunney v Jack Dempsey long count second match on the 22nd of September 1927, that was. And Floyd Robertson began his pro boxing career on February 8th, 1958. Now, 1958, Brazil won the World Soccer Cup in Sweden, beating the home side, Sweden 5-2 in the final. And February 8th is quite near to the date of a match with Muhammad, then Cassius Clay, soon to become Muhammad Ali. His 4th match fought Jim Robinson, knocking him out in the 1st round on the 7th of February 1961. He would actually fight also he boxed in his next match, his 5th match against Donnie Fleeman, winning by a 6-round retirement, and 21st of February 1961, 2 weeks later. And Floyd Robertson began his pro boxing career, like I said, 1958, and because Floyd Robertson was born on January the 7th at Accra in Ghana in 1927, he is in the Capricorn birth sign, and the sea goat Capricorn birth sign, because the Capricorn sea goat birth sign goes from December the 22nd to the 19th of January, as does Muhammad Ali, I'm talking about, Alexander Usyk, Customato, the Mike Tyson and Floyd Patterson trainer, Jose Torres and Willie Pastrana, a little bit Buster Mathis and Rocky Graciano trainer. I think Eugene Halston, the deaf boxer, he trained. So Customato, Alexander Usyk, Muhammad Ali, who's named Cassius Marcellus Clay, Louisville, Kentucky, Philadelphia Jack O'Brien, Marcos Antonio Barrera, were all born on the same date. So they're all Capricorns also. And I digress. Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson was the world welter and middleweight champion 5 times over, 20 years of 1946 to 1960. Say 1946 was when one of the matches with Billy Conn and Joe Louis. 18th of June rings a bell, but 1960 was the year of the Squaw Valley USA Winter Olympics and the Rome Summer Olympics, where the then Cassius Clay soon to become Muhammad Ali won gold as a light heavyweight, and still the only 5-time middleweight champion. There was a 5-time featherweight champion, and that was Manuel Medina. I think Manny Pacquiao might be there nearly 4 or 5 with the welterweight, and Sugar Ray Robinson, born Walker Smith, was born at Detroit in Michigan on May the 3rd, 1921, and Sugar Ray Robinson began his pro boxing career on October the 4th, 1914. And Sugar Ray Robinson died on the same date as Joe Louis, and they were really close training buddies at the Brewster's gym, knew each other from kids, and yeah, it's quite a bit of a coincidence. They died completely the same dates. Joe Louis, cracking old champion. Joe Louis would have his bag carried by a young Sugar Ray Robinson when he used to go to the gym when he was sort of shirking his violin lessons. And Joe Louis actually died on the 12th of April 1981. Now I think it was Sugar Ray Robinson who died exactly the same date in 1988, 7 years apart. And it's quite a coincidence. You had that with 2 boxers who had the most fights in history. I'm trying to think of the names. They were club mates also. They died on exactly the same day, but same as these. It was 89 actually, 89 to 8 years to the day Sugar Ray Robinson died on April the 12th, 1989, and one of his best friends, Joe Louis, died on exactly the same date in 1981. So quite a big coincidence. And Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, shall I say. Nearly won the light heavy, but he got beaten by Joey Maxine by the heat, where the referee had to get up. They had to use another referee on the night because it was so hot, and Joey Maxine beat him. And it's sort of near the Titanic date, 15th of April, that was 1912, the same year that Jack Johnson fought Fireman Jim Flynn and had the midget Wargas fought Mexican Joe Rivers in two really dirty matches. And because Sugar Ray Robinson was born on May the 3rd, 1921, he is in the Bull Taurus birth sign region, because the Bull Taurus birth sign region goes from April the 20th to May the 20th. And Leo Rodak was born on, Leo Rodak was world featherweight champion, NBA, the old WBA, from 1938, 39 onwards. 1938 obviously was the year that Uruguay won the World Soccer Cup. No, it was the year that Italy won the World Soccer Cup. First time a non-home side won it, because Italy actually won it in 1934 in Italy, beating Czechoslovakia 2-1, and Uruguay won the first of the Soccer World Cups in Uruguay, beating Argentina 4-2 in the final. But in 1938 it was a 4-2 result. Also, when Italy won it in France, beating Hungary 4-2. Hungary also, the only other time they would get into a cup final was in 1954. The only time it's been held in Sweden, when Germany beat them 3-2 in the final. And Leo Rodak was born at Chicago in Illinois on June the 5th, 1913. And Leo Rodak began his pro boxing career in 1933. That was the same year that Primo Carnera beat Ernie Scaff in that fatal match with Ernie Scaff. And he fought Max Baer just before, so that was sort of suspect a little bit in there, whether that caused the problems. And that was on the 14th of February 1933. And also that same date you had 1973, Joe Bugner v Muhammad Ali, one of the times they fought. He fought him in the 1st of July, also later on, that's 75. And Leo Rodak was born on June the 5th, which is exactly the same date as Battling Nelson, a cracking old boxer. That was June the 5th, 1880s, I think 82, something like that. And because Leo Rodak was born on June the 5th, 1913 at Chicago, Illinois, he is in the Twins Gemini birth sign region, as the Twins Gemini birth sign region goes from May the 21st to June the 20th. And Ernie Roderick, underrated boxer from Britain, should be up there really. Ernie Roderick was a British welter and middleweight champion, around the years of 1939 to 48. He fought the great Henry Armstrong, which is no mean feat in itself. And Ernie Roderick was born at Liverpool in England on the 25th of January 1914, same year as the First World War, which was 28th of July it started, to the 11th of November 1918. And Ernie Roderick began his pro boxing career on June the 4th, 1931. Like I said, it's right near the last date. Leo Rodak, who's June the 5th, 1913, and Battling Nelson, who was 1882, June the 5th, and Ernie Roderick quite a solid puncher, and he had about a long old career, about 19 years, and because Ernie Roderick was born on 25th of January 1914, January 25th, 1914, he is in the water carrier Aquarius birth sign, as the water carrier Aquarius birth sign goes from 20th of January to the 18th of February. And Luis Rodriguez. He might have been trained by Angelo Dundee at one time. Angelo Dundee, I swear, trained Luis Rodriguez. And Luis Rodriguez was a champion in 1963, say same year as the Kennedy assassination and the Lee Harvey Oswald assassination by Jack Ruby, who was a friend of Barney Ross, the great boxer and war hero. And 1963 was when Muhammad Ali got put down for the second time in his pro boxing career. He did get knocked out by a guy called Kent Green in the amateurs, who wasn't a bad, all right pro, but he didn't go much. Yeah, he did actually get stopped. So did Floyd Patterson. He was completely laid out, actually, for Floyd Patterson. It's in a picture when he was a middleweight. Obviously, they progress. And anyway, I digress. Luis Rodriguez was the world welterweight champion in the same year that Muhammad Ali fought Henry Cooper for the first time at his 19th match on the 18th of June 1963, beating Henry Cooper on a 5-round TKO, getting put down in the 4th. In the same year that Muhammad Ali in his 18th match fought Doug Jones, winning unanimous decision, 13th of March 1963. I didn't think it was close. I thought it was quite clear cut. Some didn't though. 17th match he fought Charlie Powell, who was an ex-American football player, I think. 3rd round KO, 24th of January 1964. Then Archie Morney's 16th match, 15th of November 1962, 4-round KO, very similar to the 14th of November 1966 Cleveland William match, which was Muhammad Ali's 27th match. He won in the 3rd round TKO, November the 14th, 1966, and it was all about the same time as Luis Rodriguez was the world welterweight champion. And Luis Rodriguez was born in Camagüey, Cuba on the 17th of June 1937. That's very near the date when Joe Louis fought Max Schmeling in both them matches. Very near that date. 1336, the same year as the Berlin Summer Olympics and the Garmisch-Partenkirchen Winter Olympics in Germany. 38, I think it was. But also you had the Billy Conn match with Joe Louis. One of them was 18th of June. And Luis Rodriguez was born in Camagüey, Cuba on June 17th, 1937. It's around about the same time you had the Sino-Japanese-Chinese War, and you also had that Spanish Civil War kicking off. And Luis Rodriguez began his pro boxing career on June the 2nd, 1956. That's the same year that he had the Melbourne Summer Olympics and the Cortina d'Ampezzo Winter Olympics in Italy. And because Luis Rodriguez was born on June the 2nd, June the 17th, 1937, he's in the Twins Gemini birth sign region, because the Twins Gemini birth sign region goes from May the 21st to June the 20th. And Paul Rogers was the world featherweight champion, WBA, 1968, same year as the Mexico Summer Olympics and the Grenoble, France Winter Olympics. And Paul Rogers was born in San Pedro in California on November the 5th, bonfire night, 1941. And November the 5th, bonfire night, 1994, the second greatest moment I've ever seen in boxing, I think it was up there, was George Foreman beating Michael Moorer, becoming the oldest heavyweight champion at the time, or champion around. Bernard Hopkins beat that at light heavy and stayed there. He was still the oldest champion when he retired, Foreman. And you had the 6th of November 1993, near that was the craziest night I've ever seen. It was Bo Holyfield, I think it was 2, the hang glider man, Instant Jim Miller coming to the ring. And Paul Rogers was born at San Pedro in California, November the 5th, 1941. And Paul Rogers began his pro boxing career on January 15th, 1963. Like I say, same year as that Muhammad Ali v Henry Cooper, his 19th match against him, getting put down for the second time against Henry Cooper, winning in the next round. That was the 18th of June. And because Paul Rogers was born on November the 5th, 1941, he's in the Scorpio birth sign region, because the Scorpio birth sign region goes from October the 23rd to November the 21st. And Vincent Paul Rondon was the world heavyweight champion, WBA, 1971 and 72, around that area. And 1972 was the Munich Summer Olympics. You had Dan Gable in. Kuala Bayamunk was in, the Mongolian wrestler. Dan Gable, the USA wrestler. And T. Filio Stevenson winning his first of 3 simultaneous gold medals, being stopped, getting his 4th when Cuba and Russia boycotted the 1984 Los Angeles Summer Olympics. And Vincent Paul Rondon was born at San Jose in Venezuela on July 29th, 1938. And 1938 was the first year of the 3 so far Soccer World Cups that a team won it away from home, not a home side winning it, because 1934 Italy won the World Soccer Cup in Italy, beating Czechoslovakia for 2-1, and the first Soccer World Cup in 1930 Uruguay won it, beating Argentina 4-2 in the final. In 1938 though, Italy won it away from home in France, beating Hungary 4-2. Hungary would lose 3-2 the last time they're in the final in 1954 also to Germany in Switzerland, the only time it's been held there in Switzerland ever to this date. And 29th of July 1938 he was born. 28th of July is synonymous with the First World War date, 1914 when it started. It finished 11th of November 1918. And Vincent Paul Rondon began his pro boxing career on the 28th of June 1965, the same year that Muhammad Ali beat Sonny Liston for the second time on May the 25th, 1965. He beat Sonny Liston the first time, 25th of February 1964. Same year as the Tokyo Summer Olympics and the first of two Winter Innsbruck Olympics. The next one being in 1976, Winter Innsbruck Austria Olympics, when you had also the Summer Montreal Canada Olympics. And because Vincent Paul Rondon was born on the 29th of July, Vincent, he goes into the Cancer birth sign region, because the Cancer birth sign region goes from June the 21st to July the 22nd. And Jack Root was the world light heavyweight champion 1903. I think that he was the first. That was when it was created, I'm sure. Might be wrong. And Jack Root